Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lion tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lions tried to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lions tried to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to a Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome
And welcome all you gear nerds out there to another beautiful Sunday evening. Well, it depends on whether you like turning left and right on whether or not it's beautiful. But nonetheless, here on a Sunday evening for the Global Racing Truck Series, live here on Nerd TV at a track that most of you guys that have been watching racing or doing officials are probably quite familiar with, and talking about none other than Circuit of the Americas, the West configuration, obviously the much shorter configuration at 2.26 miles. On this configuration is what's been ran in officials, but either way, should be a fun one tonight. 79 degrees is the temperature right now. Track temperature a little hotter than that at 108. So definitely getting a little greasy out there. Partly cloudy, 4-mile-an-hour winds. Not really going to play much of a factor tonight. But nonetheless, we are going to hop right into our countdown to green, presented by Icon Apparel Company. And as you have guessed it, it is just me, Dustin, on the mic. Jeremy feeling a little under the weather. He may be in, he may not be in, but gonna see what we can't do calling this road course race here at Circuit of the Americas. Few things are going to be different tonight. So cautions, non-existent, with the exception of admins will throw a yellow flag if a pileup takes place in the first 3 laps of the event. After the completion of lap 3, the admin caution is off the books. It's off the table, so to speak. Not going to happen. That rule was put in place after their Watkins Glen race last season. If you guys caught that on Nerd TV, where we had a pile up in the bus stop. It was about 10 cars and completely obliterated half the field and really stretched stuff out before lap 1 was even completed. So to try to bypass that, they have thrown in the admin thrown caution within the first 3 laps. So that's story number 1. Obviously, story number 2, it's a road course, left and right. Brake points are going to be very heavy on this one here. Everybody's going to be different. It is open setup, so again, way drivers race it, what they do, it's all going to be different. It means drivers are going to have to learn to accommodate. They're going to have to learn to get used to people's braking points, where they turn in, where they accelerate, where they decelerate. Things like that. That's going to play a big factor in this turn 1, lap 1. Right after the green flag is going to be crucial. Everybody bunched up right at the drop of the green flag, trying to funnel all the way down into turn 1. It's going to be crucial. And to say it's going to be tricky and hairy is probably quite the understatement, but we'll see how these drivers here can handle and maintain that. Last count I had, almost 30 drivers looking to take to the grid and do battle at this track here. We're going to ride on board with Bobby Mantle. Yes, qualifying has started. We started a few minutes late because it's a road course. We have 10 minutes of qualifying. Yes, 10 minutes. Brutal on the production staff, but it's because of how long it takes to go out and do a lap here. They have to be allowed a warm-up lap, plus their 2 qualifying laps. So it takes time, which is why road courses are usually slotted at 10-minute qualifying. But with that stated, let's move on to the happenings that have taken place over the last few weeks. This is race number 4, folks. So we were not able to broadcast and bring to you race number 1 at Daytona, unfortunately, due to PC issues, which have been resolved. This is our 3rd broadcast, but it's their 4th race right now of the season. So with that said, we have had 3 different winners in 3 different races. JJ McCoy taking race win number 1. Then we had Jacob Grant taking race win number 2. And then just last week on a very bold, very smart strategy of taking tires under the last caution, Dustin Franklin was able to squeak by and pull himself into victory lane last week. So 3 races, 3 different winners. Will we see our first repeat tonight, or will we see race winner number 4? That is the question that everybody is asking themselves right now, but I'm going to get my face off the screen. We're going to let all the racing action unfold here, allow you guys to see exactly what is going on. So again, qualifying is going on. It takes these drivers a little bit to get around this track. So a little over a minute and a half lap times is what we're looking at right now, and that's not including the out lap coming out of the pits coming to the green flag. So that is also something that is in that one. For you viewers out there, so we try to bring you guys into the drivers and their sim rigs. We like to showcase them doing what they do best, and we call them our caffeine team, presented by Brez Coffee Company. And we got a little bit different right now. So you see Joshua Raymond right now. I don't know. He might be texting or scrolling through Facebook a little bit, but he seems chilled and relaxed. But we got a different angle on Anthony Emmerich. We're going to be able to see his footwork at a road course here at Circuit of the Americas, which is a little different. So for those of you that do not know road courses, the pedal work it's an art form in its own. On how you do this trail braking, I mean, you'll see them slide feet left and right. They'll double pedal. It is an art form in its own. So that's a new angle on that. He was kind of testing it out last week, and then was involved in an early incident that took him out of the race. So we lost his camera feed, but he's looking to stay in it this week here. To see what's going on as we are now starting to get qualifying times. We'll go on board with Anthony Emmerich. That way you can actually see the footwork match the live feed on the roof cam. So sits right now Stephen Hayes at a 1 minute 36.71 second lap. Bobby Mantle 137.31. So Stephen Hayes, only driver right now as it sits in the 136 second bracket. Bobby Mantle, the only one in the 137 bracket, and then we have a number of them, about 3 of them that are 138 bracket. So Tyler Honeycutt making a return. He is sitting P3 right now. Stephen Knight P4, and well, we're gonna re-rack and restack that because Justin LeBlanc said nah, hold my beer, here we go. So did JJ McCoy. So McCoy now slots in P2, Mantle P3, LeBlanc P4, and Tyler Honeycutt P5. That is your top 5 as it sits right now. Stephen Hayes still the only driver in the 136 bracket as it sits. McCoy very close to breaking that at a 137.17. So, but without any cautions here, folks, it is going to be all about rhythm. Get in a rhythm, hit your marks, maintain that rhythm. 62 laps. Yes, folks, you heard that right. I swear the admins have it out for the broadcast team and some of the drivers. 62 laps is the scheduled distance tonight for that. So it's going to be a longer one. It's going to be a brutal one, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So that was kind of the running joke. A lot of times on the broadcast side, road courses are a little tougher to broadcast. Why? Because you don't have any cautions. Everything gets spread out. You have to keep a wider eye on a lot more of the track than what you typically would any other time. And the track's long, 2.2 miles, a little over 2.2 miles. Things can get spread out quite a bit, but we're going to try to keep you guys up to date on what's going on. That includes any of the off tracks, because drivers are going to overshoot corners. There's going to be off tracks. We'll try to keep you up to date on all the accidents, anything else that happens, because there's going to be contact, there's going to be accidents, because again, everybody's braking point's different. So we'll try to keep you guys up to date on that. I'll try to do my best up here in the booth. I'll be calling the action and doing the production while trying to keep an eye on this wide track. So we'll see what happens. If I miss something, I'll tell you guys right now, I apologize. I will do my best, and that is the only thing that I can do is my very, very best. So with that, we'll check in on the caffeine team presented by Brez Coffee Company a couple times. Jonathan Gaston right now on board with him. As you can tell, Stephen Hayes still in that top spot. Bobby Mantle did better his previous lap and bettered his Grim Reaper Motorsports teammate of JJ McCoy by 0.02 of a second. As it sits right now, we've got about 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. So these drivers are really trying to get everything they can. Right now, 3 drivers out on the track. You're on board with one of them. That's Jonathan Gaston. We have Joshua Raymond, who's part of our Brez Coffee Company caffeine team. And Jeffrey Wimmer is the other driver. Now down to 2 drivers. So only 2 drivers on the track. We got a number of drivers that have not taken any time. They're not out on the track to take time. Might take the safe bet to start in the back, work their way forward. They got plenty of time as it sits right now, so not a bad thing for drivers on that, and it's not uncommon. 3 sets of tires tonight, so while they're qualifying, we're gonna go over this while they're qualifying a little bit. So with that, we have open set. We know that 100% fuel load. They have 4 sets of tires. So that's 1 on the car, 3 in the pits. No fast repairs. 3 green-white checkers. And obviously, Lucky Dog and wave arounds are only in effect if the caution comes out in the first 3 laps. Because after that, folks, we don't have any cautions. Pit window. We're looking at probably 27 to 29 laps, depending on how well people stretch it out. You better believe there's going to be some pit strategy. There's going to be people really stretching it. So it's going to be an interesting one. But we're going to take a quick picture-in-picture, let them wind out the last minute or so of qualifying, and we'll be right back for the start and the starting grid of the Global Racing League Truck Series race number 4 at Circuit of the Americas.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair.
All right, welcome back. As you see, trucks are starting to grid for race number 4 here at Circuit of the Americas. And with that, we are going to go down our starting lineup. Stephen Hayes takes the top spot, only driver in the 1 minute 36 second bracket. Bobby Mantle to his outside. Row 2, JJ McCoy, Justin LeBlanc. Row 3 will be Mike Hayes and Tyler Honeycutt in the 9. Row 4, Jacob Grant and Clayton White. And rounding out your top 10 starting positions, inside row 5, Steve Knight, and outside, Don Blazer. Row 6 is going to be Jeremy Richmond and Mark Sherwood. Row 7 will be Blake Tidwell and EJ Luna. Row 8, Anthony Emmerich. We've seen his footwork, and we'll check in throughout the race on that. And his dancing partner to the outside, Jeffrey Wimmer, outside row 8. Row 9, inside, is going to be John Howard. Outside, starting P18, Brody Marinko. And rounding out your top 20 right now, last week's winner, Dustin Franklin. And hit to his outside, or, well, to his right. I can't say outside because we got left and right-hand turns. To his right will be Jonathan Gaston in the 72. Row 11 going to be Brad Miner. To his outside, Ricky Hudgens. Danny White and Abram Ghostin will make up row 12. Row 13 will be Raj Mangipudi. And to his outside, Shane Wielden. Row 14 going to be Ron Harrington and Chuck Cobb. And starting shotgun on the field will be Joshua Raymond in that 20 car. That is 29 entries. Quite a big showing for a road course. For some of you that do not know this, road courses, and it might be a shocker, but road courses not high up on a lot of people's fun list, so to speak. So having almost 30 cars taking the grid here at Circuit of the Americas is an amazing showing for these drivers here and for the Global Racing League Truck Series here on Sunday night. And if you enjoy all the action, because we have a super long pace lap, it is a road course, but if you enjoy all the action, tune in every Sunday, 5:50 Central splash screen time. We go live at 5:55 Central. That's 6:55 Eastern. And next week will be March 16th at Las Vegas. Thank you. Going back to an oval track and a fun track at that. Las Vegas always poses some amazing racing. Should be an amazing show next week as well. It's always an amazing show here for the global guys doing their thing out here tonight. But be sure you tune in next week, March 16th. Las Vegas Motor Speedway will be on the docket, so should be a fun one. If you guys remember, I said turn one. Turn one is going to be ever so vital here. As you can tell, these drivers are all stacked up. They are nose to tail. Turn one is going to be key. I would believe a number of drivers are going to take a very conservative approach. I would hope they would take a conservative approach. But we're going to find out. As it sits right now, they're getting ready to take the green flag for the running of the Circuit of the Americas. Race number 4 here for the Global Racing Truck Series here on Sundays. Green flag flies. We are underway as they go through the gears. This turn 1 is going to be vital already. Super close between Mantle and Stephen Hayes as they go off into turn 1. So far, so good. Number of drivers making it through. Oh, we got one around. Looks like the 74. Dustin Franklin, last week's winner, goes around in turn 1, able to get it going. Remember, only an admin caution if there is a stack up in the first 3 laps. A single car spin not considered a stack up, so to speak. So we are still green flag racing as it sits right now. Tough break for Dustin Franklin. Good news, though. You got 62 laps to sit here and work your way back up, and trust me, at over a minute and a half per lap, that is a lot of laps. But as it sits right now, Stephen Hayes is leading the way. Got about a truck length and a half, 2 truck length space between him and Bobby Mantle. Neither one of these drivers have a win this season. Remember, we have 3 winners so far. J.J. McCoy is the first one. Then we have Jacob Grant as the second one and Dustin Franklin as the third one. But Stephen Hayes not wasting any time as it sits right now. So for whatever reason, scoring is having a hard time on this one. So Joshua Raymond, Ron Harrington, and Chuck Cobb are not your first, second, and third. As it sits right now. So I don't know why SDK is having a hard time with the scoring on this one here, but Stephen Hayes is your race leader. Bobby Mantle is second. JJ McCoy runs third. Justin LeBlanc is fourth. Yes, I know the ticker up top is giving you false information. Do not believe the ticker up top because it is not accurate as it sits right now. Hopefully that will get itself worked out, but we're going to try to keep you up to date on what's going on. Looks like we had a car go off track here. Now we're going to take a look and see. This is Jonathan Gaston as he's going on the inside. And what happened here? Oh, a little bit of contact between him and Wimmer in the 73, and around goes Gaston. So that's an unfortunate thing, and this is what's tough because he has to sit here and wait. Remember, no caution, so he has to wait for a clearance to get through because he doesn't want to bring anybody else in. So we will try to keep everything up to date and keep you guys on par with what's happening, but that's very synonymous with road racing. You know, everybody drives it different. Ooh, Justin LeBlanc is super loose, getting on the accelerator there. That's going to close up J.J. McCoy behind him and Mike Hayes, and then even further back, Jacob Grant. So this is a nice little four-truck battle right now as Stephen Hayes has kind of separated himself from Bobby Mantle. So we'll see what happens here. I am just getting lit up everywhere. Let's take a look. Looks like we had another incident here. This one looks like it involves the 78 of John Howard. I'm going to take a look here as he's coming up, going into the next corner. And truck gets loose, super loose. And collects Brad Miner and the 67 of Raj Mangipudi. Sorry, Mangipudi. Man, see, I said it so fast. So that's a tough one. Good thing is these trucks can take a little bit of a beating on that top side. So they can take a little bit of front nose beating. They can take a little bit of damage. As long as it handles right, you should be all right. And we're going to sit here and go back. There's going to be a lot of replays, folks. A lot of replays. So you know what? Just bear with me. This one here, I'm going to be on board with Joshua Raymond in the 20. So he's going through the corner there and gets on the throttle. We'll see what happened. Not sure what that one is. I think it just registered that one as an off track. So that will happen a number of times as well. This is on board with Raj Mangipudi right now. We'll see what happened with him. Might just be another off track as well. And it's a big off track. It's a big off track. Going through those S's. Went to try to put some wheel input into it, and it took the wheel input and some. Had to come back on the track there. You see everybody having to check up as well. So a lot of stuff taking place. A lot of stuff going on right now. Trying to keep you guys up to date on everything that is happening. This is going to involve the 20 of Josh Raymond. We'll see if this one here was actually anything. The last time it registered, it was an off track, but that's the tough thing. And this one here, no, he got loose, getting in the throttle and turning. And then made contact with Abram Ghostin in the 25, and then John Howard had to take it wide as well. You see that front left fender just tore off right now, so can't really see the damage too much on that one there, but there you go. You can see it. Well, it was there, then it was not, then it was there, then it was not. So that is not a good thing. That possibly could be altering the handling of that 20 truck. So far, I think I think we got everything. I think we're pretty well caught up now. And guess what? The timing tower is finally correct, folks. So SDK finally caught up with whatever it was doing. And it actually shows proper now. Stephen Hayes still out front. And for your guys' viewing pleasure, because we will be going back and taking a look at a lot of drivers, I will display the top 5, top 10 as well at all times on that right side. That way you guys can see what is happening. But as it sits, Stephen Hayes still out front. Bobby Mantle second. Justin LeBlanc still holding that third spot. And it looks like we might have an incident here with Danny White. We're going to go and take a look at this one. See what happened to Danny White in the 64s. He goes over the rumble strips, goes to turn. A lot of wheel input, hits the rumble strips, and around it goes. And Wimmer misses another one there. That's at least the third one that Jeff Wimmer in the 73 has been right there in front of him, and he was able to drive right by. So whatever lucky horseshoe that guy has in his back pocket, we definitely need something like that. But this right here is probably the biggest pack that we have had. So you see that Jacob Grant has made his way into the top 5, as has Mike Hayes in the 1. Both passing J.J. McCoy. So that knocks J.J. McCoy out of the top 5. But still a lot of race to go, folks. We are only working lap 5 of 62. That's right, I said lap 5 of 62. Do want to give a few shout outs. Donnie Honeycutt on the YouTube side says, good luck, Tyler. Talking about none other than Tyler Honeycutt, driver of that number 9 right there. And it's not lame, says go Mantle. Always here cheering on Mantle. Mantle running strong, picking up right where he has left off last week. Still running P2, but trying his damnedest to chase down Stephen Hayes in that 13 car. So has maintained close position on him, but has still maintained about that second, 3/4 of a second gap that is there to half a second. So still tough racing going on as it sits. But you know what? We have not tried this at all. And I'm curious to see how it's going to work. And you guys probably want a little bit of a break from my annoying ass voice. So we're going to try to turn up the twos. And guess what? No caution can come out to mess it up because we're past lap 3. There are no cautions. So we're going to turn up the twos a little bit, and we're going to listen to the sights and sounds of these trucks for the Global Racing League Truck Series go around Circuit of the Americas. We will be right back. All right, folks. Give you guys a little bit of sights and sounds. We'll do that a couple times throughout the race just to let you guys really listen to this, because the sound quality and the work that iRacing has put into the sounds on all these beautifully scanned vehicles and around the tracks is amazing work. So we like to try to give shout outs on that, but we got a couple things here. We're gonna go take a look at Joshua Raymond, kind of see what happened there to Mr. Raymond in the 20. Remember, he did have that front left damage. It was there as well. So we'll see what took place here and why it popped up on my my screen, and that would be why that damage might be affecting the 20 there a little bit more than expected, as the truck did not want to handle and turn around that one. And then Danny White, looked like we might have had another incident with Danny White. We're going to take a look at this one here, see what happened as he was going into the corner. And yep, that corner down to the downhill transition, trucks have a hard time. We've seen the 72 also looped it there. So 72 is going to be Jonathan Gaston. So trucks having a hard time around this west configuration of Circuit of the Americas. I can tell you who's not having a hard time, though. That's that guy right there. Stephen Hayes, qualified on the pole. Only driver to be in the 1 minute 36 second bracket, and has led every single lap. All 7 of them right now, as we are currently working lap 8. But all 7 of the 62. You see right behind him, Bobby Mantle got a little loose out of that last corner, putting that truck under power. But has maintained right behind the 13. So remember, pit window, depending on how well these drivers save, anywhere from 27 to 29 laps. And if you guys can do math, probably quicker than I can, yes, that means if they do not save and they go the 29 laps, they are going to have to pit stop it in order to make it to the full scheduled distance of 62 laps. So I would expect that some of the drivers might be trying to save. You're probably going to see fuel strategy done a lot. These drivers are making calculations in their car in real time. Well, truck, sorry, there's no cars on the track. Pace car already went down pit road. But they are making calculations in real time in their trucks while they're trying to drive. These guys, they have their hands full on it. So Justin LeBlanc, he is center screen right now. Good to see him up in the top 3 podium running tonight. Mike Hayes has gotten himself in a comfortable 4th place position. Jacob Grant, winner from 2 weeks ago, still sitting in the top 5 trying to chase down Michael Hayes. JJ McCoy, whoa, his Grant just blinked out. JJ McCoy outside of the top 5 in 6th place right now, but still running good. Tyler Honeycutt in 7th place, and we're going to just go right down the top 10 and give you guys a little bit of a run. Tyler Honeycutt kind of giving himself a clean race, and that's what you need here at any road course. Nice and smooth, clean race in that number 9. Looking to try to lock down a top 10, if not better than that. Jeremy Richmond out there in that number 98. You know what, Jeremy, love the truck. Love the truck, Whataburger truck. I'm a little upset that Stephen Hayes elected not to run the Whataburger truck, especially at Circuit of the Americas, which is the south part of the U.S. That's Whataburger country too, and actually Whataburger has a corner at this track, so I don't know. I just felt like that was a missed opportunity, but you know what? Nonetheless, Jeremy Richmond running a clean race, but under a lot of attack from the 14 of Clayton White. You seen Clayton White had to lock it up there, different break points. But this battle's heating up. This is your battle for 8th place as Clayton White is trying to chase him down. And while that's happening, let's talk about the last driver in the top 10, Stephen Knight, sitting in 10th place right now. Not a lot of pressure from behind, trying to chase down Clayton White, who's trying to chase down the 98 of Jeremy Richmond. But those drivers all locked into a heated battle as well, just like your 4th, 5th, and 6th place drivers. And we got some action going on here. This one here looks like it's going to involve the 78. No, not that one. We want this one. There we go. Looks like it involves a 78. He's going to go through the corners there. We'll see what happens. Does he get bit by the downhill transition? Oh, as he spins going into that corner right in front of the 72. Does the 72 with Gaston get it? Yes, they both come together on that one, making contact. That's just in front of Raj Mangipudi and the 46 of Brad Miner and the 81 as well. So that's the 81 of Chuck Cobb. So close call. Could have been a whole lot worse, but that's it. This track is tough. This track is very tough. We have a lot of off tracks, but I'm not going to show you the off tracks, guys, because if you guys could see my screen, it is getting lit up like the 4th of July with off tracks. So I'm not going to keep the thing completely bugged up with off tracks because half the time it's just a tire off and that's it. But any of them that register as a crash, we will replay and show you the action on what's taking place. So that's why I missed it on the first one there, is because I was trying to get the crash, but it keeps moving for all the off tracks. So it's a crazy one. But as all that was going on, we're going to check some of these battles. We'll check the leaders here. So Stephen Hayes still got a good lead over the 89 of Bobby Mantle. Let's check this battle right here. And a good thing we did, because Mike Hayes has caught the 85 of Justin LeBlanc, trying to work him. And at the same time, the 19 of Jacob Grant has caught the 1 of Mike Hayes. So here's a 3-truck battle right now. This is for your 3rd place and final podium position for the Nerd TV podium. So those drivers going at it. And we're also going to go back to that battle and just take a look between Jeremy Richmond and Clayton White. They were battling it out pretty good. And it's still about the same as it sits right now. The only difference is Stephen Knight in that 79 and Don Blazer coming on strong has worked his way up. So that 2-truck battle has now become a 4-truck battle. So we got battles going on all over the place right now. A lot closer than what I would expect to see at road course races. Usually you don't get that many of them there. Jacob Grant gets a little squirrely there as he was trying to close in on the one of Tyler Honeycutt. And then here, this is that battle. So this is that battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th as Blazer holds the 11th place right now. So drivers now starting to see the effect of those tires getting heated up and that track temperature as well. We had talked about that track temperature, folks. 107 degrees. So that is a very warm track. The warmer it gets, the greasier it is going to get. So keep that in mind as we take a look at some of these battles and we see some of these trucks start to get a little squirrely as they're putting their truck under power. But here we go. Mike Hayes trying to show inside, but is he going to have enough? He does not have enough. He backs out. So there is a certain driver etiquette on here. If you don't have the position, Mike Hayes did the right thing. He doesn't have the position. That position still belongs to Justin LeBlanc. He backed out rather than put the nose there and put both of those trucks in a very sticky situation. So he elected to back out of it, restack it back up, try to get the run. It's a patience game. 12 lap. We're working lap 12 of 62 right now. So still a lot of time for these drivers to get done what they need to get done. I'm going to go back and take a look and see what happened here. This is going to be Joshua Raymond again, who is not having the greatest of nights here since he got that left front damage. And it is just not looking any better there. Good save, though. Didn't fully loop it. Had to lock it up, but was able to maintain. So, folks, I would definitely say that left front damage that Joshua Raymond got early on in the race is having a not so good effect on that driver right now as he's got his hands full here at the West configuration of Circuit of the Americas. This battle here still heating up as it sits. Tyler Honeycutt just outside of this, right behind J.J. McCoy. He's that blue truck that you just seen right back there. An overshot by Justin LeBlanc. Michael Hayes going to try to take it. Oh, and contact made. LeBlanc going to go around. That was contact between the 85 of LeBlanc and the 19 of Jacob Grant as they came off the corner. That was after the overshoot from the 85 going into that corner. We're going to take a look here as we go in. And this is that overshoot there. You've seen the brake lock up right now. And then as they go in, you see LeBlanc trying to come back down the track. His left tires were up in that green. He's trying to get back on the racing surface, and the 19 of Jacob Grant had that hole plugged up. There was no room to come down, which is a tough situation on that one. Contact was made, and that's all she wrote on that one. Justin LeBlanc, who was running P3 for quite some time, has been knocked all the way back to P7 after that little exchange. That's going to move Mike Hayes up to P3. Jacob Grant, P4, and J.J. McCoy after that moves himself back into the top 5 for the first time after getting knocked out. Back on about lap 5 is when he got knocked out of that. Tyler Honeycutt now just on the outside of the top 5 looking in, trying to chase him down to see what's going on. Let's go back to this battle here that was going on, and that was with Jeremy Richmond. That was with Clayton White, Steve Knight, and Don Blazer. Looks like Richmond has really extended himself out on that one there. But the battle's still pretty close between White, Knight, and Blazer. And, man, that just kind of rolled real good off the tongue. White, Knight, Blazer. All right, so having a little fun up here. Why not? We're going to go back. Things seem like they just keep getting worse for Justin LeBlanc here. As it said, there was another accident, and under brake there, you see he gets loose, and he's trying to gymkhana that thing, and you know what, boy, I'm going to give you some damn style points on that. That was a thing of beauty, the way he worked that one there. That surprised me on that one. We're actually going to go on board with that one there. He's going to gymkhana this thing here. He's going to lock it up here, and it's sliding, 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 still sliding, and still hits that apex. How about that? So, damn good wheelmanship on that, but definitely the tire's greasy after that first spin. And it definitely made itself perfectly aware and shown on that one. This one here is going to be Shane Wielden. This one here registered as a crash as well, right after Justin LeBlanc's little gymkhana through the corner. We're going to see what happened here, and that one just looks like an overshoot, and that's exactly what it was, just an overshoot on that. But, man, we have a number of them. We got Brad Miner, Dustin Franklin, and Anthony Emmerich are registering as crashes as well. So we will see. And, folks, just because it registers as a crash doesn't actually mean it's a crash. And, oh, wheel hop. Not a good thing on that one. Brad Miner wheel hopped the crap out of that corner there in the S's. Sent his truck flying and in style. Was able to maintain and brought it back. So good heads up by Brad Miner on that one there. That's why you got to watch that curbing. That curbing can bite you and it can cause damage. And Dustin Franklin trying to work his way around traffic as well. You seen he was a little loose through the last corner. And he's way loose through that corner, and then contact there from the 23 of Anthony Emmerich as he tries to sit here and get it going, but he had to wait for it to be clear. Dustin Franklin, last week's winner, having a hard time since turn 1 where he looped it around and trying to do it, and this was another view here, so we're gonna go dashboard on Anthony Emmerich on this one here, and you're going to see Dustin Franklin. He gets on the brakes, and it locks it up, and that weight transfer is all it takes going in. And you see Anthony Emmerich loses a spot there to the 64 Danny White. So, again, tough break for a number of these drivers here that are just... This track is tough, folks. I can't stress that enough. Road racing itself is tough. But, I mean, it can get very hairy real quick, and it only takes one thing to throw you out of your rhythm, out of your momentum, and before you know it, it just seems like nothing can go right. Ooh, we've seen John Howard kind of overshoot the corner there, so I think Chuck Cobb there was just an off track, and that was what registered as a crash, and that's what I'm talking about, folks. Just because it registers as a crash doesn't always mean it's a crash. So don't think too much on it here, but this one here was Brad Miner, and you see the race leaders coming up. That's Stephen Hayes, Bobby Mantle. And is this one here going to be an off track? Yeah, Brad Miner just moved off the track on that one there and said, no, I'm going to let you guys go. And he might be towing it. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, he's towing it. So that might be the end for Brad Miner on that one there after that series of events, and that was right in front, but I mean, he did get out of the way. But seeing as we were talking about him, and you've seen him in the frame, let's talk about Stephen Hayes and Bobby Mantle right now. Stephen Hayes, Bobby Mantle, still P1, P2. Bobby still trying to chase him down, and you see Stephen Hayes is chasing down your next person on the docket. That is going to be none other than the 78 of John Howard. He's next on the docket to go a lap down once Stephen Hayes catches up to him. Tidwell is the only truck marked as being out of this event. The 35 of Blake Tidwell is the only truck marked as being out of the event. But this battle right now heating up, only 0.7 of a second separate your race leader, Stephen Hayes, from your second place driver. You see the 78 of Howard gets out of the way, but has to come back on the track, and that's going to slow up Bobby Mantle as they're dealing with lap traffic. That's a heartbreaker right there. John Howard went high to allow the leader go by. He's going to do the same thing, but he had to stay on the track there, and with where it was at, it was on corner exit, and that put him and Bobby Mantle side by side, so it slowed Bobby Mantle up. So that 0.6 of a second gap that Stephen Hayes had on the 89 of Bobby Mantle just extended past that. We're now at 0.8 of a second, so he gained 0.2 of a second on that exchange alone. So tough break for the driver of the 89, but he's got plenty of time to get things done. Again, 62 laps. We are working lap 17 of 62. So, again, that's the name of the game when we come to road racing. When you have no cautions, you are going to be dealing with lap traffic, and the lap traffic does the best it can to get out of the way, but damn, man, there's only so many places that lap traffic can go without taking themselves all the way out. And there you, Dustin Franklin still having issues under brake. It almost looks like that brake bias needs to be adjusted. Anytime he puts that brake pressure on there, it completely weight jacks that truck and it just goes around. So Dustin Franklin, last week's winner, still having a hard time with this Circuit of the Americas track for Lone Star Racing. So tough break, wanted to have a good showing for their home track. But he's still in it, still giving it everything he has. But folks, with that, I want to appreciate the 17 plus people because it has been all over the place. We've had up to over 20 live viewers. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for hanging in there while I try to call this race and try to give you guys all the shots and angles. And I give you guys much love and respect. And I was going to go to a commercial break, but damn it, these guys here saying, nah, hold my beer, fam. You ain't going nowhere, because now we got a battle for that race lead. That 0.8 of a second that Bobby Mantle was behind the race leader, Stephen Hayes, wiped that out. It's down to about 0.3 right now. Bobby Mantle all over the back bumper of that 13 is Stephen Hayes. And this is not something that is uncommon right now. Bobby Mantle is one of those that he prides himself on conserving tires. That is one thing he does. He's usually there at the end of a run quite a bit. And remember, we're talking green flag pit stops, folks. Well, there's no point in even calling them green flag pit stops. They're just pit stops. We have no caution flags. But pit stops will be taking place in about 10 laps. So 9 laps, that window opens up for those drivers to take it. So about 10 laps, I would expect to see drivers starting to come down. But this race here is heating up between the 89 sponsored truck piloted by Bobby Mantle. He's trying to chase it down. And yeah, Austin McGill, thank you for piping in there on the YouTube side. Impressed with the amount of trucks on the track. Hoping to be back for Vegas, buddy. Be glad to have you back. Be good to see that machine out on the track. But yeah, amazing numbers for a road course. Almost 30 drivers. And as it sits right now, there was, as of a lap ago, there was only one driver that was currently out, and that's the driver of the 35, Blake Tidwell, is the only one marked as being out. But this battle right here, and that was a setup on that one there, that's going to put Bobby Mantle on the outside. As they drag race, he took a much wider approach, side by side. This is the battle for your race lead. Can Bobby Mantle be only the second driver to lead a lap as they go through the S's side by side? Look at the skill and precision as they go in. Who's going to take it right now? Still side by side. Stephen Hayes has it by just a little bit. Bobby Mantle on the inside, still side by side. Bobby Mantle loose and sliding. A lot of tire spin, and that's going to cost him that one. He's going to have to cool those tires down, try to regroup. But damn, if this racing isn't good for a road course and the way that these guys are doing it. But folks, I am going to take a short commercial break. Give my voice a little bit of a rest. We're going to stay focused on these key battles again, so you're going to see the camera kind of swish between these key battles during the commercial break, but we will be right back right after these commercials.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
And we are back, and as you can see, working lap 21, early pit stops from what was called out, but you've seen that Bobby Mantle did take the race lead. We're going to go back because we were kind of looking at other races that were going on as well. This was your battle, and this was the pass for the race lead. Bobby Mantle on the outside, going into the corner, had the run and the pole. Nice pass, and then goes right on the inside there of Harrington. So excellent job on that one to get that race lead. And then they came into the pits not too long after that. That's going to cycle Mike Hayes right now out to your race lead. Now remember, folks, and I appreciate you guys hanging and sticking with me. I got a little bit of a drink in my victory fuel here. Got hydrated a little bit. These guys are trying to keep me busy up here in the booth, but you know what? It's all right. So we did talk about pit strategy was going to be a big thing with this. So pit strategies and when drivers come in are going to be completely different. You see EJ Luna, Mark Sherwood, Brody Marinko, Ricky Hudgens, Dustin Franklin, all coming down to the service of their virtual pit crew right now. But that is going to cycle the one of Mike Hayes to the race lead. You see the battle behind him is heating up. That is going to be Jacob Grant in the 19, JJ McCoy in the 22. As they work off the corner there, working lap 22 of 62. 21 laps in the books, working lap 22 as it sits right now. And pit stops are underway. And this battle here is heating up quite a bit. And, you know what? That looks like John Howard that was just in front of him, and that just registered on. And it is. That was John Howard just ahead of him. It looked like he had an issue with that turn one as he was going in, seen a lot of smoke when Mike Hayes was coming in, and we're going to find out that's why he locked it up there, had to take it super wide going into it, but was able to maintain. So, folks, these tires are getting greasy. It's getting harder to put these trucks under power in the corner, and you see this right now. JJ McCoy on the inside of the 19. Has to let up off of it there a little bit. Didn't want to slide up into him, so he's going to relinquish that back to the 19 of Jacob Grant. Jacob Grant trying to chase down the 1, separated by the 78 of John Howard. John Howard trying to get out of the way here. Going to take that corner wide. Goes way off the track there, giving the leaders room to try to get by, but still trying to maintain pace. So now that the lap traffic's out of the way, Mike Hayes still leads the way right now. 19 of Jacob Grant trying to chase him down. JJ McCoy also trying to chase him down. He's in that third spot right now. So he's trying to chase down the 19 and the 1 as they work their way through here, working lap 22. This will be completion of lap 22, start of lap 23. So 22 laps in the books, folks. We still have about 9 laps to go until we reach the halfway point. Yes, 9 laps until we reach the halfway point. Hang in there with me, folks. All you nerd and nerdettes out there, I love you guys hanging out with me. Light up the chats. Give me something to talk about besides the race and action that's going on here. Help me pass the time a little bit. I don't have Jeremy up here in the booth to help me out to throw stuff back and forth with. So light up the chats. Have some fun with me. while we watch these guys give it everything they have. So again, 9 more laps. We'll be at the halfway point. These drivers are doing everything they can right now to put on a damn good show for you guys. And I know that we've done a number of picture-in-picture commercial breaks, and that's more for myself, so that way I can take a drink of my victory fuel, give my throat just a little bit of a rest. But I do want to shout out some partners that don't have a commercial. First up is Dusty Pete's. Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. He is a nerd like any other nerd. He loves collecting stuff. If you guys could see the nerd headquarters here, we have a lot of memorabilia from a lot of our favorite places, a lot of our favorite movies, games. So check out Dusty Pete's. You can check them out at dustypete's.com on Facebook. See what they have. It's not just comic books or collectible cards. There's NASCAR diecast. There's all kinds of stuff on there. So be sure you give them a check out anytime. So it's all good. But again, Dusty Pete's. That's Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. And Brian, thank you for joining the chat, telling me to shut it. I love it. All jacked up in there. Jeremy, tell you he snorted. Oh, not snorted, shorted. My bad. I need to learn how to read. Shorted us all on pizza. I heard that he missed the ranch sauce. I heard that he screwed that one up. He had like 2 jobs and he missed half of the job there. Apparently he missed a whole lot more by shorting pizza. So, oh, that's all right. That's we've come to expect that from Jeremy from time to time. So, but race in action, still working lap 23. Again, we have drivers that have come down pit road. We know that Stephen Hayes, Bobby Mantle, they've both come down pit road to the service of their crew. And right now you see Jacob Grant take the lead over from Mike Hayes. J.J. McCoy was looking but backed out, knowing that Mike Hayes needed that arc for the corner on there, and elected to hold back and let him have at it. 12 people, and he got 3 medium pies. How? I mean, I'm not the greatest at math at times, but 3 medium pies for 12 people. That's a big short up on that one. That's not good, man. I'm gonna have to give him all kinds of crap on that. So note to self: if we have anything that needs to be ordered based on the amount of people, don't have Jeremy do it. Got it. So. Oh, man. So we're going to take a look. Joshua Raymond, that's... We're going to take a look and see what happened. Remember, Joshua Raymond had that left front damage from the early contact there. And this may be an off track, or was it getting loose through that last corner? Nope, it was definitely getting loose through that last corner. So it seems like a lot of drivers are having issues with brake bias when they put those trucks under brake pressure to try to woe them down to get their angle and entry into the corners. Those trucks do not like it, and it's been popping up quite a bit. But all jacked up says he needs fired. But yeah, I agree. It is excellent racing for COTA, and like I said, I mean, this is the first time that we've seen in a broadcast for Nerd TV the West configuration of COTA. So with the way the racing is, I mean, not a lot of contact between truck and truck. A lot of the crashes that have been registered have been truck versus track, and that's pretty much what it is now you see a lot of these leaders working their way through lap traffic. Jacob Grant now trying to work his way around the 67 of Raj Mangipudi. Right in front of him is Anthony Emmerich. He is trying to stay on the lead lap as well, but Jacob Grant can't hold up. He has got Mike Hayes behind him, as well as J.J. McCoy and Tyler Honeycutt coming in the picture right there. And Bobby Mantle still in front. I mean, he's still a little ways back, but, I mean, Jacob Grant cannot hold up. And there you see right now they're working their way around Raj Mangipudi right now. Mike Hayes around him. 22 of J.J. McCoy trying to look. There, Raj pulls down to the inside, gives the outside run to the lead lap trucks. But that allowed Jacob Grant in the 19 to really stretch it out. Now, remember, we do not have a repeat winner this season. This is race number 4. We have not seen a repeat winner for the Global Racing League Truck Series. And this driver right here is the first driver to lead this race that is a previous race winner of this season. So that would be season 7 for the Global Racing League Truck Series. So looking pretty good. As you see, the 23 of Anthony Emmerich went way wide on that one there. He's mowing the grass, comes back up, cuts the corner right in front of the 46 of Brad Miner. Has a yield, has to give it up, and right behind all that action, you see that John Deere Toyota making his way in right now. That's Bobby Mantles. You see Brad Miner and Anthony Emmerich trying to give way. Anthony has to set up for that corner. That's going to slow down these two drivers as they're trying to work their way through these corners. Bobby Mantle trying to make up ground, trying to make up space. Here's the bad thing on this one here. Is Bobby Mantle, Stephen Hayes are making their way through the field. They are not that far off of your race leaders right now. The next truck in front of the 89 of Bobby Mantle, you see it right up there, the 67 of Raj Mangipudi, which we just seen the race leaders pass, not but about a lap and a half ago. They still have to go down pit road for their pits. But here's the other thing to take into account. Both Bobby Mantle, Stephen Hayes, that's the 89 and the 13 respectively, came down on lap 20. That means they are going to probably have to pit again, no questions asked. My thing is, are these drivers here looking to try to really stretch that out? Are they looking to get past that halfway point? We're working lap 27 of 62. Means we completed 26 laps. That means we are 5 laps away from the halfway point. Are these drivers going to try to stretch it out to make sure they can try to one-stop it? Whereas the other two, being Mantle and Hayes, might have to two-stop it. That could be the difference. We got an accident on the track here, registered as a crash. Going to be the 46 of Brad Miner. He's back there racing with the 23 of Anthony Emmerich. We're going to see what went on here as they go into the corner. Did he come in a little too hot, and really had to woe it down on that one. And that one registered as a crash because guess what? He come almost to a complete stop to make that arc on there. But look at this gaggle right here. That is your second, third, and fourth place trucks all right in a row, trying to figure out what is going on. So we'll have to see what happens. But I can tell you right now, the driver that's loving this is the 19 of Jacob Grant, because he's just out there just pulling laps. That's what he's doing. And I have a feeling these drivers are looking to make it to that halfway point. So it's going to be interesting to see which pit strategy is going to pay out in the end, because we're not really going to know until the end. That's the thing. We are not going to know really until the end. With the lap times that the leaders are pulling right now, I feel better, and I think that this one-stop mentality, if they can make it to that halfway point to maybe one lap past, I feel that the one-stop strategy is probably going to be that game-winning strategy. I really do. They may lose a little bit here when they go to do the interchange and everything else, but they're going to make it up when they have to come back in for pit road. And, oh, Mike Hayes a little loose and out of sorts there going through the S's. But I tell you what, good racing all around so far. Stephen Hayes got around Bobby Mantle. Back in 7th, Stephen Knight. Jeremy Richmond in that 98 Whataburger truck in 8th. Don Blazer in 9th. Well, take that back, say 10th, because Justin LeBlanc, good rebound. Remember, LeBlanc was up running in the top 3 for the longest time until a little bit of contact between him and the 19 of Jacob Grant. While he had right side tires off the track there a little bit, had to try to bring it back on. Contact was made. Around went the 85. He was the driver that paid the biggest price on that one there, losing a lot, but worked his way back up into the top 10. But right now it's all that 19, but looks like the one of Mike Hayes and company, everybody behind him starting to close in, starting to reel in that 19 of Jacob Grant. So Jacob Grant had a decent lead on that one there and has slowly just lost that lead for some reason. We're going to check back in with our caffeine team presented by Brez Coffee Company, and we did have 2, but Joshua Raymond there has elected to pull it off track, so we only have 1 driver, and it's not even a face shot of this driver. It's the foot shot of the 23 of Anthony Emmerich here, so we could see a little bit of footwork You see how easy he is on the acceleration there. You don't see him, slamming the pedal down, trying to maintain tire slippage, trying to maintain that. Right now, Anthony Emmerich running back in the 17th position. So he works his way through the S. You see a little bit of the pedal work. So just a different shot than what we are used to seeing. But you know what? I like it. I like seeing the driver's footwork when it comes to road course races like that. Nice and easy on the throttle, but still has a lot of work to go before he can work his way further up. Again, Jacob Grant still holding off charges, but man, look at this pack. That 3-truck pack just turned into a 5-truck. You see Mike Hayes stretched it out a little bit, but man, J.J. McCoy, Tyler Honeycutt, Stephen Hayes, Bobby Mantle, all of these trucks are for position, folks. Tyler Honeycutt off the track, slides. What a save as he got the right side tires off in the grass there, but was able to maintain. He did lose positions. Dropped from third or fourth place on back to 6th, but what a save for Tyler Honeycutt. Oh, man. Right now, you see Stephen Hayes got around J.J. McCoy during that exchange, and there goes Bobby Mantle looking on the inside. I imagine there's probably communication between Grim Reaper Motorsports teammates there. Bobby Mantle, or Stephen, wow. Ha! Let's try that again. J.J. McCoy, knowing that Bobby Mantle has fresher tires, didn't give much of a fight, so that's going to put Bobby Mantle P4, Stephen Hayes P3, back in the top 3. That's a Nerd TV podium. Trying to get around the 1 of Mike Hayes and then the 19 of Jacob Grant. Remember, drivers such as Grant in the 19, Hayes in the 1, McCoy in the 22, Honeycutt in the 9, they still need to pit. But folks, we are on lap. We have completed 29 laps. Working lap 30. We are 2 laps away from the halfway point. 2 laps. And my prediction is that drivers like Grant and Mike Hayes, J.J. McCoy, Tyler Honeycutt, they are holding out until that halfway point. If they can reach that halfway point and beyond, then that means they can come down pit road and they are good for the rest of the race. They do not have to pit. And here comes the 19 of Jacob Grant. He's coming down pit road. Mike Hayes elects to stay out, another one. So that is going to be just shy of the halfway point. So if this is a fuel thing, then the 19 of Jacob Grant is going to have to try to conserve and save a little bit of fuel on this next run to make it a one-stop race. Stephen Hayes in the 13 back out to the race lead. You got Bobby Mantle in second, Mike Hayes in third, still holding on. Hayes, Honeycutt, and McCoy still need to come down pit road. But I would expect, as we are working lap 30 of 62, I would not be a bit surprised to see the 1, the 9, and the 22 hit pit road this time, because as they are on pit road crossing the start-finish line, that would be the halfway point exactly. So don't be surprised if you see these drivers head down pit road this time by, yes, boxing this time. That's going to put a lot of distance in between the 13 of Stephen Hayes, the 89 of Bobby Mantle, and the rest of this field. But I'm telling you, the 13 and the 89 may still have to pit one more time. So if these drivers play their cards right, they may be in some pretty good positions to maintain and have an excellent finish on a strategy call of trying to one-stop it. So again, looking to see the 1, the 9, and the 22 possibly box this time as they go around. We're going to see if the prediction is correct as they work their way through. And here we go. All 3 of them boxing this time. Prediction was correct. Oh no, Mike Hayes trying to slow down, overshot pit road. Went to the right. Mike, buddy, you got to go to the left of that wall. Oh, tough break. Tough break for the 1. He's going to lose a lot of time on pit road. Tyler Honeycutt, J.J. McCoy do come down pit road. So, ladies and gentlemen, these 3 trucks, I can almost guarantee, safely tell you, will not have to pit again. This is exactly the halfway point. If they made it this far, they can make it to the checkered flag. So this right here is the start to the strategies. What one is going to prevail? The potential two-stop that Stephen Hayes and Bobby Mantle are going to have to make, or the one-stop that drivers like J.J. McCoy, Tyler Honeycutt, and the one of Mike Hayes have made. Looks like Jeremy Richmond, Jeffrey Wimmer, they're on pit road as well. They're looking to one-stop it. Anthony Emmerich, Abram Ghostin on pit road. Brody Marinko on pit road. So number of drivers looking to stretch it to that halfway point to one-stop it. This is going to be interesting, folks. Going to be very interesting to see exactly how this plays out. But this battle for the race lead, Bobby Mantle on the inside of Stephen Hayes. How's it going to be as they work through the corner? Oh, door contact there. That's going to be between Hayes and Mantle as they work their way through the corner. Look at the spoiler shot and look at the run that Mantle has on the outside, still side by side as they work through the corner. Oh, man. These two have put on probably some of the best side-by-side battles, and it's been right for that race lead. Mantle having that excellent run, and that's going to put him right to the top spot. Back to the race lead for the number 89 of Bobby Mantle. Stephen Hayes does take that second spot. These two have been putting on an excellent show. And I'm getting some red markers here. That means a crash. And this one here is saying it's involving J.J. McCoy. Cold tires get the better of him. We're going to find out. No, man. Big time implications there for the 22. J.J. McCoy, he hit the rumble strips. It started getting loose, went to correct, and it snapped and snapped hard. But he's able to get that thing back going again. So tough break for J.J. McCoy. And again, the new tires just come down pit road, just got new tires. So not a good thing for the driver of the 22. It won't let me go where I want to go. Just let me go where I want to go. There we go. This one looks like the 67 of Raj Mangipudi right now. Going through the corners, overshoots and slides it, comes right back down the track. And I think Anthony Emmerich also had a little bit of issue. Oh, yeah, Anthony Emmerich, he's down pit road. So what happened to him going into that turn? Because that was right behind Raj Mangipudi. What happened to the 23? Same corner there. Oh, heavy impact. That was the same corner that J.J. McCoy lost it as well. But that was heavy impact. And folks, we may have just lost our last caffeine team presented by Brez Coffee Company driver cam. Seeing as there's no feet there on the pedals, folks, I think it's probably a safe bet to say that we have lost. And there goes the camera feed. We have lost our final camera for the caffeine team. So no more caffeine team shots presented by Brez Coffee Company. But these drivers still giving it everything they have right now. Stephen Knight coming down to the service of his pit crew. So cold tires, folks. Cold tires. Not a good thing. But with that, we are going to leave it on this battle here. I've got to take a drink of my victory fuel. I got to get my throat kind of hydrated a little bit here because I've been calling a lot of action here, working lap 34 of 62. So we're going to take a short picture-in-picture commercial break, and we will be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
And welcome back to the race. 89 of Bobby Mantle still leads the way. Stephen Hayes got a little bit more separation between him and the 89 right now. Bobby Mantle really looking to push it out as far as possible. We're going to take a look. We got a crash registered for the 81. That is Chuck Cobb. As he goes through, I think it might have been just that off track as he kind of cut a little bit, unless he loses it going in here, and he looks a little out of sorts. And that might have been what it was. But while we're doing this, I also want to shout out somebody I've already shouted out a couple times, but Victory Fuel. Again, it's that hydration drink. It's not an energy drink, but it will keep you hydrated with electrolytes and vitamins. It's what the nerds love to use during broadcast. Be sure you visit them at drinkvictory.com. Get yourself some. Love me that throttle punch. Jeremy is all about the purple potion, but they also do have Lucky Lemon too. Probably a little bit of what some of the drivers wish they had was a little bit of luck for tonight's race, because it has been a tough one with drivers struggling with the track itself. The track is actually getting the better of some of the drivers, unfortunately. But Bobby Mantle, Stephen Hayes leading the way right now. As it currently sits, high probability they were going to have to pit again with this, whereas other drivers like Jacob Grant may still have to pit as well again. It's going to be a tough one. 5 drivers currently out of tonight's race. It's going to be Anthony Emmerich, Brody Marinko, Shane Wheeldon, Joshua Raymond, and Blake Tidwell. All have elected to take their trucks behind pit wall back to the garage area. But folks, we have finally hit that lovely moment, and I am so happy to see that, especially at a road course. 26 laps to go. We have crested the top of the hill, and we're working our way back down. Again, for the 18 plus, we've been over 20 live viewers. Much love and respect. Appreciate each and every one of you guys for putting up with my commentating and play-by-play calling and producing at the same time, as Jeremy's a little under the weather there. If you ask all jacked up his brother Brian, that's probably karma for him shortening pizza 18 slices for 12 people. So that's probably karma for him. So he's probably chuckling at that one himself. But either way, it's going to be interesting. So Bobby Mantle, Stephen Hayes, last on pit road on lap 20, right around there. I'm going to take a look at the stint length right now. So yeah, 20 laps on pit road. That means that they would have to, excuse me, they would have to stretch that 42 laps to make it to the end. Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. 42 laps, not so much. Whereas you see Grant 30 laps on his, he still has to stretch his 32 laps. Whereas drivers like Tyler Honeycutt, who is currently in fourth, the first one of the drivers that came down right at the halfway point at 31 laps, only has to go 31 laps. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out throughout the remainder of this race. As you see Bobby Mantle working around lap traffic, that is Raj Mangipudi that he is working around. Stephen Hayes is going to be the next one. We got a little something going on right now. This is going to be with the 64 of Danny White. We're going to take a look and see what happened with him. And this is on that uphill grade into the corner. As he goes around, does it spin? Yep, gets under power on that uphill peak. Doesn't fully loop it, but slows him way off the pace. You see J.J. McCoy coming into the frame there, working his way forward. Remember, J.J. McCoy has also looped it as well. First lap or so, right outside of his pit service that he had. Fresh tires. Truck did not like it, and he went for a little spin cycle there and got it back going. And here we go. This is what I was talking about. Stephen Hayes coming down pit road now to the service of his pit crew. Remember, there are 3 sets of tires in the pits, 4 sets total. It's 1 on the truck, 3 in the pits. We know that Stephen Hayes, Bobby Mantle, has already used 1 set. This will be the 2nd set for Stephen Hayes, so he's electing to get it done now so that he can try to make up some time. This might be the saving grace. Now he's gonna lose some ground to Jacob Grant, as Jacob Grant just got by him. But here's the thing, and right there's Jacob Grant. Stephen Hayes now has fresh tires, fresher than Jacob Grant, fresher than Tyler Honeycutt. This could be the winning strategy by short pitting it. Might have been the saving grace. Now, question is, what is the 89 of Bobby Mantle going to do? If he is going to have anything for the end of this race, he is going to want to short pit this thing right now just to compete with the 13 of Stephen Hayes. And it sounds like I have a buddy in the booth. Jeremy Stanley, did you happen to hop in here even feeling under the weather?
We are here, baby. We are here. I know it's a little halfway through this race. We're on lap 38, 39, but I'm here. Solo parent for the weekend and got them all to bed. And now we're here to call some action at the shortened Circuit of the Americas.
Look at you going. Man is doing the solo parent thing while the wife is off enjoying some R&R, and man's under the weather. I was expecting to be in the booth solo, and look at you. You still come in and help me call the second half of this race, my man. Well, much appreciated. Wasn't expected, but much respect.
Yes, sir. Here we are. And, you know, I'm just catching up on things, and there's 2 Whataburger trucks out here at this in this race, and I was hoping iRacing would have the updated shortcut there. They have a little bit very similar to it, but I'm sure it'll happen soon. But this race so far, I'm going through the stats, I'm going through the lap times, I'm going through the spacing. You know, for a road course, this thing usually gets strung out, but I'm seeing a lot of action all throughout this track, especially that lead change that just happened. Stephen Hayes in the 13 just passed Bobby Mantle in the 89. So first, second, and third place, basically, it looks like on my end, very close to one another.
Yeah, and it really has. I mean, we've had some long battles, and by long battles, I mean they've stretched laps on end for the lead, for the top 3 podium, for the top 5, for the top 10. So it's been different, and I was wondering how this 2-stop strategy was going to work. Stephen Hayes, Bobby Mantle pitted on lap 20. Was clearly going to have to be big loose there out of the 13, but he was able to maintain, again, still on those fresh tires, still trying to heat them up. Trust me, they're heated up now. But I was wondering how it was going to work, because we had a lot of drivers take it to lap 31, the exact halfway point, so it was going to be a one and done. But they elected to short pit, and with the lead they have, they've come down to the service of their crew for the second time, and they're back out running 1 and 2. So that right there was probably the game-winning move by electing to do the 2-stop with the short pit on the second stop.
Yeah, these guys always do better strategies than me, so I just kind of see what they come up with and kind of try to take notes for what that's worth, anyways. And 2-stop versus 3-stop. It's very easy to overdo your tires. I know in the faster version of this track, we get the extra 5 or 6 corners. It's a lot easier to cook the rear tires. This one, it's just more technical, more on the front tire versus the rear. And yeah, can tires last with the 2-stopper? You're saying it looks like it's probably the best call. I might have to agree with you on that so far.
Yeah, now when we were doing the one stop, I figured that, the one stoppers would be able to stretch that out more than what they did. So my initial call was, this one stop might be the way to go. But I did not factor in the short pit on the second stop for these two stoppers, and that right there was the game changer. Before that space got closed up too much, and before the one stoppers really closed in, they short pitted it, and it put them right out, right behind or right within the mix of them. And with the fresh tires, they've got it better. But Jeremy, the story today has been the amount of single car spins. It looks like this drivers, because again, this is a new configuration. It's not a new track for drivers on the service. It's a new configuration, and we really don't come to this track a whole lot with the trucks. And this is an open setup league. It seems like the brake bias for a number of these drivers is not set right. It seems like when they put these trucks under braking conditions, the weight jacking on it just loops it completely.
Yeah, I mean, these trucks have nothing for weight in the back anyway, so when you get on throttle, it is already easy enough just to full send it and loop it. And they do run this configuration, of course, on the V8 supercar side of things, I do believe, or at least some type of sports car, but not for NASCAR, not until this year. I know Dale Jr. gave it a huge appraisal, and a lot of other drivers did as well. Through all the series. So it's a great, more technical version of this track. Hopefully they keep it. The track doesn't need to be 3.25 miles long for a NASCAR circuit. So this little shortcut area, I like how it actually runs. I like that little kink there, the little extra kink, what NASCAR is not used to seeing there in that turn 6 A and B portion. I kind of enjoy that more. So I'm watching these guys. They're doing it very well. There's no track limits like there is on the official server stuff, so the guys are more optimum to running past the red and white stripe guard or curbing and whatnot. So I love how they're using every bit of this track, and it's been a pretty good show so far.
And it really has. And I have to agree, as they go through the Whataburger corner there, my favorite corner by far.
Whataburger corner.
The Whataburger corner.
Who coined that one, by the way?
I just did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just did. Yeah, just now.
Got it.
But I will say, it seems like this West configuration seems like it has posed better racing, like more side by side, more competitive battles, throughout the race and anything else. As we see another attempt by Bobby Mantle here to try to take the lead from Stephen Hayes. Stephen Hayes able to get in the throttle, even though it kicked him loose a little bit. Still able to power himself back by Bobby Mantle, but the racing overall seems like it has been better than your full course Circuit of the Americas. So I'd have to agree, Jeremy. I'm kind of digging this West configuration.
It is very cool. I just realized that the leader does not have a Whataburger scheme on your end, but does on my end. Thanks, Trading Paints, for that. Appreciate that. So the Monster Energy truck, for those who are actually watching, I see the 2 leaders were given all the room plus some from Raj Manjapudi.
Mangy Pooty.
I knew I was going to mess that up. I needed you to be auto-correcting me on that one. Appreciate you for being right on the money and doing that. But 0.3 was the time here. Bobby Mantle trying so hard to get around Stephen Hayes, but Stephen is doing a fine job. Throttle control, using the lanes where he needs to not give the 89 the room to pass. He's got the faster truck. He's there. Once he passes, it's over, at least from my perspective. But this 13 doing a hell of a job keeping this position up front here as we're going to get to lap 44. This is going to signal 19 laps to go here for the Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it it's like a 50-50, Jeremy. Stephen Hayes has his set of corners, his preferred corners he's better at. This one right here, if Bobby Mantle wouldn't have gotten loose on that one there, Bobby has completed a pass on Steven in that last corner a number of times by taking it wider and then cutting it down. So it is not unheard of. I mean, each have their strong points, their strong corners, their weak corners, but it's just a matter of how they are going to do it. As we're flying around on the drone cam presented by Space Panda right now, and kind of take a look at these drivers as they work their way around this new configuration to a lot of us, this West configuration here at Circuit of the Americas.
Space Panda with Dustin driving the drone. He can fly this thing. Technical corners, 210 mile an hour as we saw last week. We've got it all here on this drone camera, and little flyover there. Almost looks like a rallycross section of the track where we're floating above the trucks as they're going through the corners, passing them, looking back now. This man can fly it in reverse. I love this Space Panda drone cam. It's always been a fantastic tool. Look at this pass effort on the inside. Does he get it? Nose is there. 13 has the preferred groove. Slightly off exit, but he's going to brake early. And Bobby Mantle has a fantastic chance. He shortcuts the corner exit. 13 Hayes drag race down the front straightaway. And it looks like the 89 is going to take this lap here. 17 laps to go.
Yeah, 17 laps to go. Drag race down into the next corner. Can the 89 outbrake as they're side by side? But there it is. Getting on the throttle for Bobby Mantle in that corner, just super, super difficult. And the 13 of Stephen Hayes takes that back. So what a race, though. That was an excellent effort by Bobby Mantle in the 89.
So catch me up on this pit strategy. Are they both good to go, or does one still need to come in?
They are both good to go. Technically, if you want to get technical, the 89 of Bobby Mantle has one lap fresher tires. Stephen Hayes came in with 24 laps to go. And then the very next time around with 23 laps to go, Bobby Mantle came in. So they are good to go. The other drivers, unless something happens to these guys, the other drivers like Tyler Honeycutt, and I know we've been focusing on those guys a lot, but there's a good battle for third right now going on between the 9 of Tyler Honeycutt and the 19 of Jacob Grant, who is your race winner 2 weeks ago. These guys are not going to be able to catch him. They don't have the tires to catch him. They're trying to do what they can. As you see Jacob Grant get loose out of that last corner there as well. But this is a battle to keep an eye on as well, Jeremy, between the 9 of Honeycutt and the 19 of Grant.
Yeah, that's a good battle there, too. And then also there's a third two-truck pairing. Jeremy Richmond in 7th, Jeff Wimmer in 8th. Those guys 0.3 separated from one another in the 98-73 right now on your screen.
That is a Whataburger truck.
that one is definitely the Whataburger truck that we both show on our computer. So props to Trading Pigs for getting that one right. But this one, about the same distance for the most part as your race leaders, 0.3, 0.4. Very similar in configuration with the leaders. So the 73, not as strong as up at the top of the hill in turn 1 like Bobby Mantle in 89 is, but look at his strong effort here through what is on the long section turn 12. I'm not sure what it is on the short configuration. I think 7 or 8, but great effort there. Now to the stadium portion of the track, which is my favorite part of this racetrack, by the way. A little lockup of the brake. Little wide there. Use all that asphalt. I know it's a league race. You don't get penalized for it, so use it all if you got it. I love to see it.
Oh, absolutely. Do want to give some shout outs here too. Don Blazer running 9th in that 11 truck. Again, newer to the Global Racing League Truck Series here, but a very strong showing. And it's always interesting, Jeremy, when we come to road courses, because we don't know drivers' racecraft at road courses, so it's always good to see what drivers can do it. So shout out to Don Blazer, clean race, solid top 10 run right now. And Mike Hayes, so you didn't get a chance to see it, Jeremy. He's one of the one-stoppers. Himself, Jacob Grant, Tyler Honeycutt, or JJ McCoy rather, all came down pit road. He ended up overshooting and missing the pit road entry, going to the right of the pit wall, had to throw it in reverse, stalled the truck, had to refire it, and then get it going again. So excellent rebound to still be sitting in the top 10 for Mike Hayes in that one.
Oh, man. Look at this. This part of the track is so just full of just good action all the way through here. I love it.
We had to pass for the lead, too, while we were covering everything else.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Ooh.
Ooh, look at that. Oh, no, we got a secondary spin as we're going to go 3 wide on this replay here, live into the turn 12 section right before the 78 John Howard is also going to loop it. He's backwards 180 and parked it. He's waiting, and he's finally clear, finally able to get on track. But it took him probably 10 seconds to get that thing turned around just waiting on traffic.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, a lot of people, it's been the, putting these things under brake, and then when you try to get back in the throttle again, try to give power back to the truck, this thing here has just been struggling. I do got to give you a hard time, though. Give you a hard time. And you know what, Brian? You just stop that. He says, who is controlling this cam? Talking about the drone cam. I was controlling that cam. He asked Ray Charles, ? Your brother. I love the guy.
My brother has a hard time.
He trolls so hard, and I love it, man. I love it. But I got to give you a hard time. How are you going to get 3 medium pies, 18 slices for 12 people, my guy? How are you going to do that?
All right, that's a whole story on itself, and it's already been explained to Brian. Brian's already given me stuff for it for the past, 72 hours.
And you forgot the ranch. You forgot the ranch.
We are just going to skip over that entirely and move right back to the race here. As the 89 has not been able to clear the 13 since he passed him. And that's all I got.
Oh, man. So, yeah, like I said, that right there might have been the ending part. The only thing Stephen Hayes can do is cool those tires down, give it a chance to give him one last run at the 89. We got 15 laps to go. He has stayed right on him, but we have seen both of these trucks get loose, Jeremy. So, I mean, yeah, that one there cost Stephen Hayes the race lead, but we have seen the 89 of Bobby Mantle break loose a number of times as he was trying to get that race lead. So both of these trucks have been pushing it. They've both gotten loose in their own respect. So it's going to be a tight battle.
Contact between the 78 and the number 21 on the pylon, but number 3 on the door. Ricky Hudgens gets side by side with the 78, make contact there, entering the stadium portion of the track, and it loops the 3/21 around.
Oh, he cut that corner big time, too.
Cut it, went wide, and boop. There he goes, right around.
Justin LeBlanc just missing that one. Looks like Ron Harrington just missing that one. So, yeah, that's a tough one. That wasn't a good one at all. Looks like we also got one with Brad Miner here as well. And, again, remember, folks, just because it registers as a crash doesn't mean it's actually a crash. It could just be them going off track as well. Sometimes the scoring software will register that as a track or a crash. And that's what it kind of looks like on this one here, because there wasn't much there at all, Jeremy.
Cycling through here. You got the replay up once more. There it goes. Play white. I love that sponsor on his truck, on the hood, and on the rear. Right in front of the race leaders here. NFG with the NASCAR logo. Very, very classic there. Well, you can't see it, actually. That's 2 schemes now. My trading paints is different from yours, so never mind. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about.
Clearly not. Thanks, Trading Paints.
Like myself.
You know what?
Stadium section
we're just going to do this. We'll reload the textures. Why? Because why not? We're going to give great trucks everywhere. Good luck knowing who is who, folks. Ha ha! We love throwing.
Except for the race leaders. They came in right away.
And I still got a monster truck for Stephen Hayes, so I don't know, man. Thanks, Trading Paints.
I don't know. Yep, 2 different schemes for 2 different computers, I guess. And that's how we're going to do it here on the Nerd TV side here. Sunday evening, lap 49 coming up close. So we're going to be 13 laps to go, which is about 30 miles, give or take. And you got another replay here from the number 3. Mr. Hudgens looking a little Little iffy. Oh, man.
Ooh.
A quick recorrect.
Yeah.
Overcorrected.
And
But
that
thankfully hit nobody.
Yeah, that looked very similar to what happened to JJ McCoy too going into it. So I mean, these drivers are trying to hit their arcs and apexes through these corners quite a bit, and if they feel like they're off just a little bit, they try to readjust. But that's at least the second time on replay that we have caught a readjustment that was a quick snap, and it cost the driver. Like I said, that happened to JJ McCoy on fresh tires after he come out. Oh no! Implications to the race leader and then contact. Oh no! That looked like Clay White locked it up there a little bit. We're gonna go to the Nerd TV rewind, but it looked like he locked it up overshooting the corner, and it looked like the 89 of Bobby Mantle had to react and just lost it.
Yep, that's gonna end that amazing battle between these two guys here. Going to turn 6. They get contact. The 14 just either really slow or the 89 really fast. It looks like Bobby just drove it in too hot. Hit the back bumper. There he goes, locks it up where he can, and then Clay White, Don Blazer rather, nowhere to go. Locks it in. Spins it. It doesn't look like there's any damage to the truck, but needless to say though, it's that's not good for the 89. He's probably 10 plus seconds back of your race leader. 11.3 right there on the vertical or the horizontal ticker.
Yeah, unless something happens to the 13 of Stephen Hayes, this is his race to lose now. And I hate to say it because, I mean, the battle between Hayes and Mantle was completely epic. Man, it's a tough break. Tough break to, have something like that happen. The battle's still going on as it sits right now. Like I said, Stephen Hayes, it's his race to lose right now. That's the tough thing as it goes. And I take it, I'm being told, Jeremy, I am being told that your new nickname is 3MP.
Yeah, we're still not talking about that.
For those of you out there that do not see the YouTube chat, 3MP stands for 3 medium pies.
Yep.
And more trouble for the man. Bobby Mantle just cannot catch a break. That was last week's winner, the 74, Dustin Franklin, losing it in the corner, and Bobby Mantle had to check up and just lost more time. This is for a race that has been going so well for the 89. The last 3 laps, he has just not caught a break.
No, it just keeps piling in on here. 12 laps to go, and Bobby's just now trying to secure second place. As Tyler Honeycutt waiting for one more mistake happens to or from the 89, and all of a sudden this 9 truck right here might be in a position to be P2, as he's got a good 11-second lead over 4th place. So your top 3's got the podium locked down unless something drastic happens, but. Yeah, not a good sign here for the 89 for the past 2 or 3 laps. But this 9 truck just waiting to see what else happens.
Yeah, and Tyler Honeycutt has been, for the most part, floating under the radar. We've talked about him in some of the good battles. He was in some of those good top 5 battles that were going on. But he's just maintained, kept it clean, and has put himself in a position, like you said, 11 seconds over this man right here, Jacob Grant, the 19. Tyler's he's just running his race, trying to get trying to get to the end as it sits right now. Like you said, if nothing else happens to the top 3, and I say that because poor Bobby Mantle's had 2 things happen to him in the last 2 laps. But if nothing else happens, your top 3 are pretty well locked in, Jeremy. I mean, you're talking there's like a 13-second difference between first, second, 11-second difference. We're talking big stretches.
Absolutely. Here, quick update. Ricky Hudgens in that 3 truck. We saw about 5 laps prior. He is parked for the night, so he'll be finishing in 24th place. Ricky Hudgens will be. Let's see the 72 looking underneath the 19.
That is
So here
not
at
for
the stadium.
position.
Not for position, but trying to make the pass nonetheless. Now cycling over to the 22, JJ McCoy. A very successful beginning to the 2025 season here at the Global Racing League Truck Series tonight. Even though it's not a victory or a top 3, but it's still 5th place. So if you can come out of a road course with a top 5, I count that as a big success.
100%. I mean, anytime you can come to a road course and come out with a finish, I count that as a
Yeah, there you go.
success. This is a technical type of racecraft. It really is. I mean, to turn these race trucks left and right and be competitive, keep it clean. We've seen drivers struggle with getting on the throttle, with brake points, and putting these trucks under braking conditions. So we know the struggles are real. So anytime you can finish this race, I feel that's a success in its own. Like you said, we have Hudgens. Ricky Hudgens is out. Anthony Emmerich is out. Brody Marinko is out. Shane Wheeldon is out. Joshua Richmond is out. And Blake Tidwell is out. That's 6 drivers that have pulled their simulated trucks behind the wall to the garage and will not be finishing the Circuit of the Americas event here at the Global Racing League Truck Series.
That is indeed true. There is 9 laps to go left around this place. Getting down to the nitty gritty here. Not much positions up for grabs at this time. Minus the 1 and the 98. They're about 2 seconds separated as they're down to turn 2 and 3 in the S's. That's about it. Everybody else has got at least 10 seconds of gap between one another. So for the first time since I joined in on this broadcast, Dustin, it is a lot less busy than what it was. So, not every road course can have a lot of action like this. It had to come to an end, but you got a replay here, an RTV replay here on up to the top of turn 1. We're going to see what happens to the 74.
This has been a struggle point for a lot of drivers. Yeah, a lot of drivers have been struggling with turn 1. That's because it's a tricky turn 1, Jeremy. You've got that uphill grade going into the corner, a very sharp corner, straight to a downhill grade. So it just throws these trucks for a loop. And actually, that corner has been a struggle bus for the 74 Dustin Franklin since the start of the race. He was a truck that went around for a spin cycle right off of the green flag, right in turn 1. So that turn has been Dustin Franklin's kryptonite this evening.
He locked it down too. There's so much asphalt runoff there. I'm surprised he had to lock it up and stop essentially there on the top of the hill and allowed one truck to pass him there. Now here's the number 9, Tyler Honeycutt, P3, 25.7 seconds back of your race leader based on last lap stats, as we've gotten the 8 to go marker here for the Circuit of America race at the Global Racing League Truck Series. And Steven, he's been close to some victories. Last season he had quite a bit of good runs, unable to capitalize on a lot of them, but tonight is going to be the night for the 13 if he can just keep that truck underneath him. What an impressive showing here from the 13.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been like that since the get-go, Jeremy. He was the only driver in the 1 minute 36 second bracket times for qualifying. Started on the pole. He was the only driver he was the only leader in the race for a number of laps. So this has been his race to lose, so to speak. And Bobby Mantle up before those 2 laps that I guarantee you Bobby would love to get back more than anything. It's been a hard-fought battle between the 13 and the 89. So it's tough. And we got another crash registered, and this is showing possibly J.J. McCoy. So
22.
Yeah, more issues for this season's Daytona winner. Turn 1, going in that uphill. Does it bite again? It sure does, big time. As he slides in, has to bring it to a stop to let people go by. So turn 1, strikes again, Jeremy.
Very tricky corner. You're going uphill into a sharp left-hander. You literally, doesn't matter how high you raise your your seat in the cockpit here in these virtual trucks, you cannot see that turn one entrance. You're climbing up the hill, and it's just blind. So you just have to know your mark. And sometimes, if you just trying to focus so much on that, not so much the breaking point, you overdo it. And that's why it's so easy to do it in turn one. Probably one of the most challenging, if not definitely a top 3 most challenging corner in all of the NASCAR circuit. Whether it be restarts going 3, 4, 5 wide, if you're Chastain wrecking Chase Elliott on lap 1, or if you're just,
It's funny you
doing like
say
that, where
that.
you miss your mark.
It's funny you say that because in the drivers' meeting, they said no Ross Chastains in turn 1. No Ross Chastains in turn 1. They repeated it
There you
2
go.
or 3 times. But they were also told, for the very same reason, Jeremy, like you said, you have to know your marks. You have to hit your marks. Drivers were told if you are looking for a mark, use the white line that crosses the entire track for pit lane exit as your marker. Because, like you said, it is very difficult to see with that uphill grade going into that very sharp left-hander for turn 1. The drivers, you lose scope of where the track is at, and that's probably why these drivers are getting heavier on the brakes. It's because finally when they do crest it and they can see where their truck is at, they see that they have missed their mark, so they get on the brake harder, and by that time it's already too late, and then they get on too hard, and that's when the truck breaks loose.
And it's so easy to do that here. 6 laps to go now. Left in this Circuit of the Americas race, riding on board your race leader, the 13, Stephen Hayes.
Right there, that
Wait,
line right
hold
there.
on. He's a Monster Energy truck with a Red Bull helmet. Can someone talk to me about this? This is...
Hey, that's what he selected. We have no control over that. I don't get it. I wasn't gonna say anything, but you being the painter, you point out the details like that. So
My man knows energy, let me tell you that. Keeping it up as your race leader, by the way. And you can just see this new section of the track we're not used to seeing. I love how grayed in it is. You can see exactly where they're running all over that part of the track. Cutting the corners, jumping the curbs. A little wide there on that apex, but it's okay. Holding a nice 14.2 second lead. One of the most technical parts of the track right here. Don't spin the tires. Get on that red strip if you can. Go wide, 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 and then sharpen it. But he's going to do the opposite. He's going to hug it tight here. And there you go. A little sharp exit there. The safe entry right around that corner.
which makes sense. I mean, he doesn't have to pull quick times, Jeremy. I mean, he's got a substantial lead on this, so he doesn't need to push the issue like what it was earlier in the race when him and Bobby Mantle were duking it out, battling it side by side. He can run a more conservative lap on there. He doesn't have to push it to the ragged limits of what that truck can do right now.
Yeah, absolutely does not have to do that. And he is going to be... He's still gaining over Bobby since he's had those little issues. About 10 laps to go now. 5 laps to go left in this race. And little action on the track right here. And speaking of the 89, right in front of him, we got almost a side-by-side situation here. And, you know, that's Clay White right in front of him. And then right in front of Clay White is Jeremy Richmond in the 98. 98 and 14. Our fourth position is Bobby. Locking him up again, trying not to hit the 14 once more.
I was about to say, how bad do you think he had PTSD going into that corner right there, and then the 14 of Clayton White had to get on the binders heavy not to hit the 98, and Bobby Mantle had to lock him up again. That was almost very reminiscent of what happened, and Clayton White overshot that corner. Went way wide on that one.
It almost looked like Clay was trying to do the same thing that Bobby did to him there in turn 6. Overshot the breaking point and almost tagged the backside of the 89. So as he locks it up once more, getting into the long version of the track, turn 12, which I think is 7 or 8.
And that's going to cost him a top
circuit.
10 position right now. That knocked Clayton White out of the top 10. Justin LeBlanc was able to get by him on that overshoot and now took over the 10th place, and he's right on the coattails of the 89 of Bobby Mantle. So Clayton has got 5 laps to go in order to try to try to get this position back. I mean, he's trying to chase down the 89 of Justin LeBlanc, but I don't think he can, Jeremy. He's locked those tires up. We've caught it on camera just the last lap to lap and a half, at least 3 times. So I don't know if the tires can maintain on that without a mistake out of the 85 to get him back in the top 10.
And the 98 is for position 2, so either the 89 needs to pass the 98 to give Justin LeBlanc a chance, or Justin needs to pass Bobby Mantle real quick here for any effort, as 98 goes a little wide on the top of turn 1 exit. Down to the S's here once more. 4 laps to go. So under 10 miles left in this race. But can the 89 either pass, or can the 85 take advantage and pick up 2 passes before this race is over? This will be a fun one to watch here.
Yeah, and you see the 89, he's shown low, well, shown left side. I got to stop saying low because it's left and right turns. I got to get in that mentality. And there you see the 98 pull it far left there to let him by, but he's got to be careful.
No way.
Because that next car right there, LeBlanc, that is for position. And you see the 98 got a little loose trying to maintain it down there. And oh, man, that was close. LeBlanc does complete the pass, though. Mark LeBlanc up to P9.
Real close about it. I'm really surprised that Jeremy was going to give Bobby that position, knowing that the 85 and 14 are right there. Now he has to get back on the attack to pass Justin LeBlanc here, as we're going to have 3 laps to go momentarily. So this is going to be a really hard 7.25 miles left for this 85 and the 98 Jeremy Richmond here, as he's starting to lose ground more and more real quick. So maybe Justin's going to set the standard here and keep that spot.
And that's what I was seeing too. So what you're seeing is what I'm seeing. Is you see Richmond goes way wide on that one, and that's not good. The Richmond, if that keeps happening, there's still 3 laps to go. Clayton White is right back there in striking distance. Could, as long as he hits his marks and doesn't lock him up or overshoot, could get a top 10 finish here. So this could be heating up to be a really good battle for that 10th place, Jeremy.
Yeah, Clay White wants to get it back. He made that mistake and he fell out of it, and he wants to get back to it. And he's got about 5 truck lengths between him and the 98 to find the top 10 once more. 2.5 laps left to go. About 6 miles or so left in this race. These guys are full on the attack at this point. The guys that was on your screen, these are all for position minus the 89. So it'd be fun to see. Don't make mistakes, but go fast at the same time. This is what we love about racing right here.
Yep, it's because it's not over until it's over. So while this race is going on, Richmond locks it up. That closes Clayton White in. So this battle here is starting to heat up, Jeremy. But it looks like we had an issue. This looks like it might have been with the 67 of Raj Mangipudi, as he was loose out of that last corner there.
Yeah,
he's having issues there. And then, hits the rumble strip, has to lock it down, keeps it off the wall, but man, does he lose a lot there.
Mengi Pooty, great stave not to hit the inside wall there off of turn 20. But back live action here. The 14 really close to Jeremy Richmond here, going through what is turn 20, I think turn 17 on the short circuit. And this battle is going to get real good. Clay White, little tire spin there. He's going to lose about 5 to 6 truck lengths easy down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go for these guys.
Yeah, and that right there is what Richmond wanted to see. That gave him a little bit more breathing room. But again, still 2 laps to go. Clayton White takes it super wide there. Clayton is pushing everything he can out of that truck to try to get that top 10 spot right now. Trying to chase him down. Yeah. Richmond running a smart approach, though. Little conservative, not over pushing it because he's already locked him up once, so he knows the tires are at their limits, but is trying everything he can to maintain. Up front, though, leader under lap traffic right now, trying to work the 73 of Jeffrey Wimmer and the 1 of Mike Hayes.
Real close section here through the stadium portion. As you go through the long sweeping right-hander here is to come up a couple corners left before we get the white flag, which will signal 2.6 miles left in this Circuit of America race at the Global Racing League Truck Series. as we're looking at the 1498. This is the position on track that's up for grabs. This is for your top 10, so kind of a fun / crucial spot here on track for the stat columns anyways. 1 to go. Final lap.
Yeah, leader Stephen Hayes is taking it. He just needs to cruise one more lap, and we will have our 4th different winner in as many races adding to that column. But right now, this is that battle, and a lot of wheel spin for Clayton White, and that is going to seal the deal there. He lost so much ground, Jeremy. That is not going to be able to be caught back up without a mistake out of the 98. So back up front, see Stephen Hayes working right there with Mike Hayes. Tough break for Mike Hayes, but good rebound. That is for 7th place. 7th place is looking to go down as, he had to get on the binders a little bit.
Tight.
Very tight racing here with the win on the line as Stephen Hayes just has to work through a few more corners, Jeremy, and his way to his first victory of the 2025 season 7 for the folks over here at the Global Racing League Truck Series.
And here we are, final set of corners for the number 13, Stephen Hayes. And it looks to be he's going to be 4th winner out of 4 races to start the 2025 season. 2 more corners left for the 13 here. Through 19. Clean section. He's got a little pressure. Not for position, though. As long as he hits this mark here. Hometown, you see right there, Denton, Texas. He's going to win in Texas. Stephen Hayes picks up the checker flag here tonight at the Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, 4th winner again. J.J. McCoy, Jacob Grant, Dustin Franklin, and now put Stephen Hayes' name on that is Bobby Mantle. Heartbreaker there will come across the line in P2. Still a solid run, but Jeremy, you've got to know that's going to be a hard post-race interview for that 89, knowing the great battles that were going on between him and your race winner of Stephen Hayes. Tyler Honeycutt coming off the corner now. P3, we will get to talk to Tyler Honeycutt, Jeremy, in the Nerd TV podium for the first time in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a little bit for this number 9 to sit down and talk with us here in the podium. And 3rd place comes in at 39 seconds back. Shows the separation here between the top 3 alone. But the top 7 make it out on the lead lap. Everybody else 1 lap down or more. We'll go over the full results here momentarily. We're going to see if Stephen Hayes doesn't burn out here. Showcase that. And then we will give those unofficial results right afterwards. And, 4 different winners, 4 different races, 4 different venues. Super Speedway, then you had a hybrid Super Speedway / Speedway, and then you had the 2 mile at Auto Club, which, you can label it however you want. It's its own beast between that and Michigan. And then a road course. And then next week will be
Vegas.
Las Vegas, which is back to your first time traditional cookie cutter style track. So we'll see how that goes here. We'll see if we get 5 for 5 on different winners. But here's the 13. Wait for this truck to pass. Wait for the 74. He does. And then burn it down, Stephen Hayes. Congratulations. Well, maybe not. There it is.
I seen the sparks. Gotta do
count?
it.
I
It
guess
does.
it counts.
It
I didn't
does.
do it on Thursday, so.
Well, that's because you forgot. You forgot, but it counts. There were sparks
see.
there. He knows he's going to get called out.
And if he doesn't, he will learn very shortly. As he burns it down the front straight. Here is your unofficial results here, presented by Icon Apparel Company. Stephen Hayes, P1, Bobby Mantle, 2nd. Tyler Honeycutt is your top 3 podium. 4th place, Jacob Grant, 5th place, Stephen Knight. You got J.J. McCoy in 6th. Michael Hayes, the last truck on the lead lap, in 7th. 8th is Jeff Wimmer. 9th, Justin LeBlanc. 10th place, Jeremy Richmond. 11th, Clay White. 12th, E.J. Luna. 13th, Mark Sherwood. 14th place, Danny White. 15th, Don Blazer. 16th, Justin Franklin. 17th, Abram Ghostin. 18th, Jonathan Gaston. 19th, Bradley Miner. And your top 20 truck, Raj Mangapudi. 21st on back is Ron Harrington, Chuck Cobb, John Howard, Ricky Hudgens, Anthony Emmerich, Brody Marinko, Shane Wielden, Joshua Raymond, and Blake Tidwell rounds out tonight's 29 truck lineup, which that's a big stacked lineup for a road course. So I appreciate all the drivers coming out here tonight. We're going full screen. We'll be right back with the top three.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with it.
And post-race show here on the Nerd TV. We got our top three lined up, ready to talk to them. And first one's going to be that number 9, Mr. Tyler Honeycutt. We got him in here now. Mr. Tyler, congratulations on your top 3 finish.
Hey, how's it going?
We doing good, man. We doing good over here. I'm a little under the weather, but it's okay. Bright sunny skies here in Texas. Great solid run here for you. Even though you're so far back, able to lock in a top 3. How challenging was that new circuit layout?
I think it's a lot easier than the old one. Yeah, I wasn't planning on racing tonight, but I figured I'd make my season debut. So it was fun to race. I wasn't as fast as I thought I was going to be, but I just tried to save tire, and I did a one-stop strategy, so it worked out pretty good. I was happy to get a top 3.
Yeah, the new little chicane section, the turn 6 A and B part, looks like it was a lot of fun from up here in the booth. I have not tested that configuration yet, so kind of like a shorter track, if you will, because there's not a huge long straightaway to work with. There's not that top of the hill tire spin and then the sharp apex corner to follow it. So was there any like different kind of mentality or strategy coming into this race, knowing that the track, lost a whole mile each lap?
Not really. I knew I wasn't fast enough to win, so my thing was just come in, save tire, and see what I can do on a fuel strategy and see what happens. But as far as the racetrack itself, I've been practicing racing other races here, so I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I wasn't worried about the layout or anything like that. Like I said, I like it a lot more. I wish, honestly, I liked the one that NASCAR ran. Maybe they could get that on the service, but this one's a lot better than the other one for sure.
By the visuals, I'd have to agree there. And yeah, I hope they'll scan it and upload it here sometime in the next few months. But congrats, man, for showing up for your season debut, getting the top 3. That's good. Let's hope we can continue that streak. But any shout outs before you want to head on out tonight?
Yeah, it's good to actually race one of these instead of talking to y'all in the comments and stuff. So it was fun to hang out with the boys. But yeah, shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Global for putting on the show, all the drivers. It was cool to see this many drivers at a road course. You don't see that often. Um, so yeah, shout out to you guys. My dad's watching. So I love you, Dad. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Ghost Motorsports. Hell of a run by all of our guys tonight. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think that's everybody. So I appreciate the talking to you guys.
Yeah, 29 drivers is quite impressive for a road course event. So
Yes, sir.
definitely a huge, very good showing here tonight for the Global Racing League Truck Series. But Tyler, congrats on P3 once more. Have a good rest of your night, and maybe we'll see you next week on track. If not, maybe the chats.
Yeah, I'll be racing next week for sure. I don't know about anything after that, but for sure next week I'll be racing. So hopefully I can talk to you guys again.
Yes, sir.
But hope you feel better. Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate you. We will catch you at Las Vegas.
Yes, sir. Bye bye.
And that was Mr. Tyler Honeycutt there in the number 9. And now turning our attention to the 89 and P2. That's going to be none other than Bobby Mantle and the John Deere Toyota Tundra. Mr. Bobby, it was a great battle between you and Steven. It was fun to watch. I joined in late in the broadcast just to watch you guys hashing out for 10 plus laps. And then issues occurred. So just kind of walk us through your night and that moment there.
Well, I just want to start off by saying, like, it's my third year in global here now, and that was hands down the best racing that I've ever had. Like, I got to give props to Steven. That was good. Like, we were both clean. I don't think we were ever more than 2 seconds apart on the track, just nonstop fighting. And I'm beyond pissed about the outcome. I got a lot of words that I would like to say that aren't broadcast friendly, so I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. The first stint, Steven beat me with the Q. That caught me off guard, so I just played it safe. I wanted to see how he was going to get around the track, see if he was going to make any mistakes. And he didn't. So I tried to undercut him in the first pit. He did the same thing. So again, we were just battling away, and then on the third run, gloves were off. I turned it up to 11. I knew I had to try to force him to make a mistake, get aggressive, because we were coming down to the end. And I really, really wanted to win this thing. So it's too bad how it ended up playing out.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I was even saying it myself. I said this is going to be one of the best Global Racing League finishes in quite some time. There was 3 different battles on the track. It was 1 versus 1 situation, including you and Steven. And I was hoping we were going to watch that all the way to the end. But regardless, though, you still got a P2 out of it, the whole thing. So.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I still had a good finish at the end of the day.
Yeah, very good finish, very good running, quite entertaining. Usually these road courses can be just very drawn out and not much action, but 29
they were,
entries tonight put on a great showing for this league.
yeah, no, there was plenty of action between Steven and I, and I know you guys had other battles to cover, but I really hope you guys caught the lap where we were side by side through the S's and the cut, because that was just a ton of fun.
Oh, we caught it. We caught it,
Right
my
on.
guy.
Yeah, it was difficult to turn the camera away from you in the 13. So you guys did a fantastic job. Well, man, great showing tonight. Next weekend's Las Vegas, so you got to finally turn your attention to a normal cookie cutter style track. But any shout outs before we let you go here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. The guys on my team, I love racing with these guys every week. And I got to shout everyone in the league. These are the best numbers we've ever had. The guys are showing up, and even to a road course. So I was shocked to see this many guys here today. So good job. I appreciate you all, and hopefully we can keep these numbers up through the rest of the season.
Yeah, it'd be amazing for sure. All right, Bobby. Good. Have a good rest of your night, and we will see you next Sunday.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Now it's Bobby Mantle in the 89, and now to load up Victory Lane here, then by Icon Apparel Company. We're going to bring in the number 13, Mr. Stephen Hayes. And Stephen, excellent showing, man. Congratulations on the first win of the 2025 season for yourself.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Just great battles all around this track. 29 entries. What a hell of a showing for not just yourself, but the league entirely. You and Bobby, the back half of the run was just amazing to watch. I joined in late, and I joined in probably at the best time because it was just you and him.
Yeah.
But How was the tires after that? I know the 89 had some issues, and you just had smooth sailing. So, was your tire still in real good shape there?
Yeah, for that last little sprint there, I knew if I tried to keep up like as fast as we could go with Bobby, he would eventually have better tires than me. So I was honestly kind of being a roadblock there, running 138s ahead of Bobby, just trying to, Ryan Newman him and keep him behind me. But so I really saved on that run once Bobby got spun. I mean, it was easy sailing, but I still had the grip. I was able to drive my lines without having to worry about spinning or anything like that. So I'm glad I took it easy and was able to just coast from there on.
Yeah, it looked like you were kind of holding up A-Dan a little bit, and I acknowledged it too. But it always seemed like Bobby tried to pass you in the corners that you were good at. Like he'd get you into turn one, but you had such great exits on that corner in a side-by-side situation. You kind of kept him behind, so you had the truck in some parts of the track. Um,
Yeah, I
so
think it's a racing line deal. I mean, there's some corners that I was great at, some corners that Bobby was great at, like the stadium section coming to the end. Bobby was fantastic at. But yeah, I mean, there's only a certain couple sections where you can really pass, and those might have been my best corners. I'm not sure, but that's where Bobby tried, and I'm just glad I kind of battle him through them.
And then I got two quick fun things for you. First off, if you hit the wall in a burnout, I call you out. So
Did
why'd
I
you
hit the
tail
wall?
slap? You barely did it. I questioned if I should. Dustin said I should. So here I am asking you, how did you hit the wall there on your burnout?
Man, my crew chief didn't tell me to do that. I swear to God. I was just, it's been a long time coming for this win, but I was just too excited. I just started going, and stuff happens. I hit it, so it is what it is.
Stuff indeed happens, and my game had you in a Whataburger truck. On Dustin's screen, it has you in a Monster Energy truck.
Thanks,
But
Trading
my
Paints.
thing is, yeah, my thing is you have a Red Bull helmet with a monster truck. So can you explain that?
No.
Okay. Well,
Nah, I'm just a big Max Verstappen fan, so I
oh, there
caught
you go.
the helmet there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I had Monster for my officials, and I had the Whataburger for my league paint, and that's exactly what everybody else was telling me. Hey, I see Monster. Hey, I see Whataburger. So I guess I just gotta make it outright Whataburger from now on.
Two Whataburger trucks in the field.
Are both of them custom numbers, or is one sim stamped, one custom?
I think they're both custom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trading Paints. I don't know,
Yeah, they're
because
both
yeah,
custom.
Jeremy's like, there's two
Absolutely.
Whataburger trucks in the field. I'm like, I'm only seeing one, and that's Richmond. I'm like, I don't know
I
what you're
mean,
talking about.
they're both cool, so whichever one shows through, I'll take it.
See, it shows it there underneath his number
It
next to the
does,
helmet.
but on the live feed, it doesn't.
It's very strange.
Well, that Monster gave me some speed, I'll tell you what.
Yes, it did. Between Monster and Red Bull, you had the energy to finish this thing out P1, man. So, congratulations. Excellent showing here. Now we're going to go to Las Vegas next week. But in the meantime, any shout outs before we head that way?
First and foremost, I mean, Bobby Mantle, man, whew, that guy had some speed, and just the whole race battling him was honestly the most fun I've had on iRacing so far, and I was looking forward to that last little bit on the final bit there, but sucks he got caught up. But I mean, good P2 for him. Tyler Honeycutt coming in third. I think he had a different strategy, but still locked away the third place. My boys at Lone Star, I mean, us practicing together and just having a blast racing these races and talking crap to each other. But other than that, you guys up in the broadcast, I mean, sharing all these races with my buddies, friends, family, they all get to see me win this race, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, just thank you guys for showing up and showing out.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you all for putting on an excellent show here at Circuit of the Americas. You have yourself a good night. We'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Stephen Hayes gets it done here at Circuit of the Americas, and that was your post-race interviews presented by Victory Fuel. And Dustin, man, I know I got to see the last third of the race. You had to call it solo the first 2/3, but what a race from my end. Just battles all around throughout this whole track, from start to end, right?
And it really was. I mean, I have to agree. I mean, you heard it from the drivers themselves. This was probably the most fun that they have had. I mean, you heard it from from Bobby Mantle. He's been racing global for 3 years. This is like the best race that he has had, and that was even with all this stuff happening. It was still, the racing was that good. The battles, it seems like this configuration was better suited for the stock car style trucks that we run here. I mean, the side-by-side battles, I mean, we had pivotal battles all over the place. Good, clean racing, side-by-side racing. Overall, like I said, I'm kind of upset that I didn't get a chance to actually partake so much with this configuration during officials, because I mean, just calling it up here, it looked fun. And that's saying a lot, Jeremy, because I'm not as big of a road guy as you are. So I mean, that is saying quite a bit. I'm usually just a circle track guy. So like I said, overall it was really good. I do got to shout out Ron Harrington too. He did say that my truck had Yeeta Burger on it, and it did. On the tailgate had Yeeta Burger in the Whataburger font. So I have to shout him out. But yeah, I mean, good stuff. 29 entries, Jeremy. That surprised me. When we, first went live with this, was very surprising that it was that many drivers, especially for a road course. Amazing numbers in attendance. Everybody that showed up, watching it as well. I mean, we stayed 18 plus the entire time up until, race ending, and then it started declining, which is a normal thing. So just good stuff all the way around.
A Jay Uso fan out there with the Yeeta Burger. But yeah, appreciate y'all. That's a great amount of viewers for our road course. Usually when we do these, Dustin, we're like 12, 10, 8, but 18 sustained through the whole race. That's amazing. So, and with the 29 truck field, like, just a big thanks to Global Racing for bringing out not just the talent, but the fans to watch with us on the channel. And if you haven't done so already, we do broadcasts on up to 3 different platforms at once: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So subscribe to all those if you could, please. And thanks again. We'll do this again next Sunday for Global Racing League. Same time, same place. Maybe I'll be here at the start. Who knows? That's up for grabs. Which will be 9 Eastern, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. But then, we also have a Wednesday on the weekly, Dustin. We're going to be doing super speedways every single Wednesday. So join us for that, for the OP Grand National Series. And that's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. And, all right, guys, that's it. Appreciate y'all. And have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. Get your nerd on. Don't be sick like me. And, Dustin, close them out.
As always, it's not goodbye, folks. It's just till next time. Stay safe.
Back when nothing truly